Chinese press says conflict in Gaza increases conflict between the United States and Iran. French media, supporting Israel puts America in a new isolated situation. The following is the full content of the article. As one of the spillover effects of the new round of Palestinian-Israeli conflict, international shipping safety risks in the Red Sea and Arabian Sea are receiving great attention from the international community. On the 23rd local time, a merchant ship associated with Israel was hit by a drone in the Arabian Sea near the west coast of India and then exploded and caught fire. Fortunately, no casualties were caused. The United States pointed its finger at Iran, saying the ship was hit by a unidirectional attack drone from Iran. Prior to this, Iranian officials had just refuted U.S. accusations that they were deeply involved in Yemen's Houthi armed forces' plans to attack ships in the Red Sea. According to a report by Qatar's Al Jazeera on the 23rd, Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Bagheri said that the Houthi armed forces act based on their own decisions and capabilities, and that certain countries such as the United States and Israel are being resisted by regional resistance forces. A commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps warned that if the United States and its allies continue to commit crimes in Gaza, waterways such as the Mediterranean Sea may be closed. Washington's attempt to once again thrust Tehran into the public spotlight as a security threat comes as it finds itself in a diplomatic dilemma. Supporting Israel makes the United States face new isolation. Agence France-Presse commented on the 24th. This incident changed the rules of the game. A Pentagon spokesman told Reuters that the merchant ship attacked on the 23rd was hit by a drone 200 nautical miles off the west coast of India. This was the seventh attack by Iran on a merchant ship since 2021. According to reports, since the Palestinian Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas, raided Israel on October 7, this is the first time such an attack has occurred so far away from the Red Sea. According to a report by the U.S. Wall Street Journal on the 24th, this is the first time since the outbreak of a new round of Palestinian-Israeli conflict that Washington has accused Tehran of directly targeting commercial ships. CNN commented on the 24th that this incident may mark a new escalation of tensions. At the time of the incident, the chemical tanker was sailing from Jubail, Saudi Arabia, to the Indian port city of Mangalore. India's Business Standard said that there were 20 Indian crew members and one Vietnamese crew member on board. The Indian Coast Guard has sent ships to the sea area where the incident occurred to verify the incident and asked nearby ships to provide assistance to the merchant ship. The Wall Street Journal said the ship, flying the Liberian flag, was owned by a Japanese company and managed by a Dutch company linked to Israeli shipping tycoon Edan Ofer. A former British naval officer said that no matter who carried out the attack, this incident is a game changer because it happened so far away from land. At the same time, Houthi armed attacks against targets in the Red Sea waters continue. The organization, which Western media calls Iran's ally, has said that all ships owned or operated by Israeli companies or flying the Israeli flag will be legitimate targets for attacks by the organization. It will hinder the navigation of Israeli ships in the Red Sea and Arabian Sea until Israel ceases military operations in the Gaza Strip. The British Guardian quoted the U.S. Central Command as saying that a U.S. destroyer located in the southern Red Sea shot down 4 drones taking off from areas controlled by the Houthi armed forces on the 23rd. Since October 17, the Houthi armed forces have been 15 attacks on merchant ships. In addition, a Norwegian-flagged ship was almost attacked on the 23rd, an Indian-flagged oil tanker was hit by a drone, 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles were fired from areas controlled by the Houthi armed forces towards international shipping routes. There have been no reports yet. The vessel reported being hit. The Wall Street Journal stated that a series of attacks led to an increase in shipping costs, forcing BP, Statoil and others to adjust their routes. As one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, approximately 12% of global maritime trade passes through the Red Sea each year. Daniel, chief executive of maritime services company Windward, said at least 33 container ships had been diverted from the Red Sea to southern Africa in the past week. adding 60 days to shipping times from Asia to Western Europe. Daniel believes that the attack on merchant ships in the Indian Ocean raises the question of whether the Red Sea Escort alliance formed by the United States can really provide protection for an area 7 times larger than Europe. We never ordered them to do anything, as security alerts in the Red Sea are frequently sounded. The United States and Britain are targeting Iran. The White House said Iran was deeply involved in the Houthi armed forces' plan to attack ships in the Red Sea. The Times of Israel reported on the 23rd that White House National Security Council spokesman Watson quoted recently declassified U.S. intelligence as saying that since 2015, Iran has supplied the Houthi armed forces with advanced weapons for attacking ships. Without Iran's support, it would be difficult for the Houthi armed forces to effectively track and attack merchant ships. She also said that Iran often leaves operational decision-making power to the Houthis. British Foreign and Development Secretary Cameron also issued a warning in an interview with the British Daily Telegraph recently, saying that the United Kingdom will not tolerate the escalation of Iran's malign activities in the Middle East or on British soil. Iranian Foreign Minister Abdullahian denied claims of being deeply involved in plans to attack merchant ships in the Red Sea. On the 23rd, he held a press conference on the sidelines of the International Conference on the Palestinian issue, saying that the Houthis made the decision based on their own position. We have never ordered them to do anything, and we will not order them to stop their actions. Regarding the escort alliance formed by the United States, Abdullahian believes that this is not a solution to the problem. The correct approach is to stop the bloodshed of women, children and civilians in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. Iran's Tehran Times said that the International Conference on the Palestinian issue, which opened on the 23rd, was hosted by the Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and was attended by representatives from more than 50 countries. The Tehran Times stated that Iranian President Raisi delivered a speech at the International Conference on the Palestinian issue on the 23rd, revealing the bellicose nature of the United States. He said that the international community is witnessing the products of today's unjust world order, which are horrific war crimes, and the United States is the main culprit of the humanitarian disaster in the Gaza Strip, according to Iran's Tasnim news agency. A commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said on the 23rd that if the United States and its allies continue to commit crimes in the Gaza Strip, new resistance forces may emerge. He said that Mediterranean Sea, the Strait of Gibraltar and other waterways, could be closed. The U.S. Capitol Hill stated that it is unclear how Iran will implement this threat because the country does not have direct access to the Mediterranean. America faces new isolation. Arabiya TV analyzed that Iran can play a lot of cards in its game with the United States. The United States is paying the price for favoring Israel. At the same time, the two countries have differences on issues such as the direction of the war in Gaza and the political, security, and social arrangements in the Gaza Strip after the military operation. This has also made Washington embarrassed and passive. It's time for the United States to give Israel some tough love. A New York Times commentary article on the 23rd said that the United States should now demand that Israel completely withdraw from Gaza and achieve a permanent ceasefire under international supervision. Biden must stop wasting time looking for an ideal UN resolution on a ceasefire in Gaza and make clear to Israel that pursuing the goal of eliminating Hamas will come at a high price that neither the United States nor the world can afford. Supporting Israel makes the United States face new isolation. Agence France-Presse reported on the 24th and commented that nearly 3 years after Biden declared that America is back, because his government supports Israel's war against Hamas, the United States' international image is taking a hit. After arduous negotiations and the abstention of the United States and Russia, the United Nations Security Council passed a resolution on the 22nd calling for immediate, safe and unhindered direct and large-scale humanitarian assistance to Palestinian civilians throughout the Gaza Strip. This means that the United States has taken a step outward from isolation. It has twice vetoed draft Security Council resolutions calling for a humanitarian ceasefire. However, the New York Times believes that the abstention on the 22nd only limited the damage to the United States' world status. It is, increasingly becoming Israel's lonely protector. As the year draws to a close, the United States is diplomatically isolated and on the defensive. Now it is at odds with allies such as France and Japan, which voted for the Security Council resolution on the 22nd and another resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza earlier this month. Agence France-Presse quoted Leslie Benjamouri, head of the United States and America's program at the Royal Institute of International Affairs, as saying that when it comes to the United States, the first thing most European policymakers think of is Biden's strong support for Ukraine. A popular saying now is that the United States cares about Israelis and Ukrainians, but it doesn't care about brown people. A Gallup official said that a poll conducted in 6 Arab countries last month showed that only 7% of respondents believed that the United States played an active role in the Gaza conflict, and social media showed Arabs that provided unfiltered scenes from Gaza that showed Washington's complete bias toward the Israelis and denial of the human rights of the Palestinian people. Our video ends here. Remember to subscribe so we can meet again in the next video. Goodbye everyone.